Hello, my name is Hannah, and today we are building a base game $15,000 house in Willow Creek. And before you get to the parts, it is not base game until partway through it, which is usually happens with all of my base game houses. I'll go through it and I'll just like, most of this is base game. Might as well make the whole thing base game. So there is a lot of like parenthood stuff for a period of time, but I do get rid of all of those things. And so I'm fairly positive it is entirely base game. I think I put it on like the gallery, so I should have checked that, but I don't have any memory of me checking that. So I believe it is base game, but I will fix it if it is not. But to my knowledge, it is entirely base game, and if it didn't get changed like on camera, like you can't see me changing something, I definitely probably did. So I'm fairly positive, but I do make mistakes sometimes, especially in my base game builds. So, but I do a pretty okay job at trying not to use other packs. Also with this one, I try to make it $15,000, and it is like, I think almost exactly, I think it's like 2 simoleons less than that. I do change some things afterwards because I forgot I didn't put a trash can, and you kind of need one of those just slightly, unless you're not going to use the house, which then you don't really need one. But if you're going to use it, you kind of need a trash can. So they do get changed a little bit after I stopped recording, because I didn't feel like the 30 seconds of me trying to figure out how to put a trash can in was really worth me starting recording again. So I just kind of just fixed that one real quick, and so there is a trash can now, and so that's pretty good. But I think there's like one less plant or something, and like, I don't know, something to make it so that we can have a trash can. But with this one, I've made a 10K house that had like a parent's bed and then like a singular child's bed. So I was like, this one I'm going to try and do a family of 5. And so that is what I did. And so I didn't think it was going to be that much harder, because like the children's beds are like 300 and the toddler's bed is like 200, I think. So that's like not 5,000 more dollars, but also with like all of the stuff that you need for those children and all that stuff. But it was also still a struggle because cheap houses are kind of hard, and also it's just not gonna look the best, and so I was trying. But also my floor planning skills, I have them until I need to make something budget, and then they just go right out the window. They just fly away, and then they come back when I've decided to do something that's not entirely stupid. So, this is a little odd. The entire living area is a rectangle in the middle of the house, which, is kind of it works. So, you can walk through it, I'm fairly positive. And there's a lot of stuff in there. They've got a dining table. It doesn't fit everybody, but the toddler doesn't need one. I say this like every single time I put a toddler in. They don't need one. They don't matter. They can sit on the floor or on the couch. They'll be okay. No one uses the dining table anyway. It's entirely for looks. So, but the dining table is there, and there is like a living room, and there is a table with like a computer. I'm fairly positive. There may or may not be a TV though, but I'm not really sure. But you can find other entertainment. TVs aren't that important anyway. It'll be okay. So it should be fine, but there might be. I really don't know. But I was just trying to make a color scheme that works too in the like living area. Usually with the base game cheap stuff, I usually have issues because I don't like the colors of like most of the things. But I was trying with this one. I think it ended up being just like black and white and like blue, because that is usually it. And then I think there's like some yellow or something, and then like just like brown, because like dark brown, a lot of the cheaper items come in dark brown, so it works. And so I got a lot of just like the cheapest stuff, and like the children's cheapest stuff is pretty good. And like the couch, like I don't think I've ever had a sim complain about the couch, so that's pretty fine. It's basically just like the fridge and like the toilet that are gonna probably be issues, but I didn't choose the cheapest one of either of those. I think, well, other than other packs, but I think the cheapest base game fridge is the one I used, but it'll probably be okay. But other than that, it was a pretty simple build. It wasn't that difficult, other than like at the very end, because I was trying to get it like close to 15,000, which is always really fun, but also kind of challenging because there's not anything that's like that specific. I honestly don't. The pricing, I don't know how it gets so odd numbers, because I don't know anything that's like 46 simoleons. They're usually like on 5s and 0s, and I somehow end up with like 13 simoleons left. So, not really sure about that one. But, other than that, it was pretty fun. But that's about it for the house. So I'm now going to move on to some of the things that I've done this week. So the first thing is that we had 2 practices this week for cheer. And practice is fun. I like practice once I get there. However, waking up at 5 a.m. is just not my idea of a fun day. It's really horrible, and I always feel like I'm gonna die by the end of it, but that's okay. And so, I always feel really horrible, and I'm just like, I don't want to get up at 5 a.m. because, like, the night before and right when I get up, it's really horrible. But as soon as I get to practice, it's okay then. I'm not really sure about that one, but I hate practice that early. I need it to be afternoons, but also I don't want it to be afternoons. I just want to have practice, but I don't want it to have a time. It's kind of, because all of the times are inconvenient, because after school, I have so much homework. If someone else did my homework, I could have practice in the afternoon. But then morning, it's just too early. Like, I cannot think straight at that, like, early in the morning, let alone memorize an entire dance at 6 a.m. But I just don't understand. Like, I understand, but these coaches, I swear, the head coach is on, 8 cups of coffee by that time. She's so peppy. It's annoyingly peppy. But, she's a nice person. She just needs to tone it down with the caffeine is what I'm gonna think. Unless she's naturally that hyper at 5:30 in the morning, in which I am a little scared for her. And me, because that's just scary. Because no one else is peppy. I swear everyone's in their sweatpants and just, threw some, clothes on and just got there. And then she is in, the best mood of her life. It's really odd. But, good for her. I wish I could do that at that early in the morning, but no. That is not possible for me, so, that's fun. But I enjoy going to practice. I'm just exhausted, and then for the rest of the day, I'm also exhausted because I got a good 6 hours of sleep. So, real fun right there. Other than that, I had a game this week. Well, I actually had 2 games this week, but it doesn't feel like 2 games because I was just there for 4 hours, which is really fun. We were at a school that's, halfway across town, which is really fun. It was, a 30-minute drive, which is really nice, which means we have to leave even earlier than the game already is. So I didn't do a good anything Wednesday night because I was at a school all night long. And all day I was also at school. So, I just didn't go home. Well, I did for a good 25 minutes before we got back in a car and drove to a school, which is really fun. And then we got there at 5:15 or what time we were supposed to be there. And then we messaged these people that hadn't gotten to us because we have a pretty small team already, and then some of them are also sick, so it's really nice. And then we had 3 people on my team that thought we were supposed to be there at 5:45, which is when the game starts. So, because we get there 30 minutes early to stretch and make sure everyone's coming to the game, stuff like that. And these people just didn't show up until late. One of them was speeding and got there 5:30ish, which that person, not sure how that happened, but I think they started a little bit earlier. But the other 2 didn't get there until after the game had started, which is real fun. And then one of them didn't even have pom-poms. I don't even know how you take what's the point of the cheer bag if you're not putting the pom-poms in there? I have literally nothing other than the pom-poms and the bows in there, ever. So, not really sure, but I don't even, why would you take them out? That's just kind of stupid, but I don't know. But she just didn't have pom-poms, so we just didn't have her for the first game. She just kind of sat out. And then we had another person arrive because I think she had dance or something, which is fine. And then she showed up, and then she felt faint, which is really nice. And so she didn't do anything because she felt like she was going to fall over, which is kind of sad that you had to still be at the game when you felt that bad. And so she gave the person that didn't have her pom-poms the pom-poms so she could go, so we weren't all alone out there. Other than that, the games went fine. We did freshman and then reserves basketball, boys basketball, and I think the freshman teams just overall, aren't as good as the other freshmen teams, and so we've gotten beaten on almost every single freshman game that we have done, which is really fun. But the reserve basketball was pretty good, and I think we won that one, so that's good. And so we've also been passing around the stomach flu, which is honestly just really fun. And with a group of 70 people passing around the stomach flu, we have a good 5 people out for the stomach flu every single week. It's really nice. I would recommend that highly. With sports, just pass around anything. It just happens so much. Like, it's just so bad. Happened last year too, but that's okay. And so I just felt so tired on Wednesday, and because everybody was happening things, and then we had one girl that felt faint. We had another one in the hospital the day before. She wasn't there. We were not having her at there when in the hospital. And then we just have the stomach flu going around. So it was overall just a great day right there. The games were good, but I don't really want to be around these people when they keep passing people the stomach flu. Haven't gotten the stomach flu yet, though. Honestly, a little shocked about that one, but, I did get the cough that they were passing around for a period of time last year, so I guess I don't want it. And also, I've got my own allergy stuff that I have to deal with, so, they can keep it. I will be over there trying not to get the stomach flu, which I guess I hang out with these people like a fourth of the amount that they do with each other, so that's probably why, but I don't, need to go to Starbucks with them daily, so I'll be okay. So hopefully that's what's keeping me from doing that, and I won't change that. But that's about it for, Wednesday and my cheer stuff and all that stuff. But it is almost screenshots time, so subscribe if you did like today's video, if you want to see more like this. But I do post 4 videos a week, so you can watch another video next time. Bye!